Hello everyone, this is Sai Phanindra from SQL School, a registered training institute and Microsoft partner. We deliver our services, trainings, projects and placements exclusively on SQL Server, SQL DBA, MSBi and Power BI technologies. And this particular demonstration we planned it for about 1 hour technical demonstration completely on the MSBi scope, the importance and the technical prerequisites in case you are planning to proceed with this course. And before we start, let me introduce myself. Again, this is Sai Phanindra T, and with over 11 years of technical expertise into this technology, SQL Server and BI. Friends, we promise you on the technical quality of our training services. That should be my first word, first sentence rather. And the trainings would be completely real time. Simple. We know how to win references from you for our next batches. As simple as that. Friends, we know the value of your time and the money you're investing in getting this training. So we need to do our duty in a genuine way. And yes, we will do it. We have been doing it. And coming back to the agenda, we will be understanding right from what is BI. Like as we are very new to this technology, we'll start right away with what is BI and why to go for MSBI and what we do for first 3 minutes. Then for about 10 minutes, we'll be understanding about the course plan, like what we are going to do in this course and the takeaways from this particular course. Whereas the majority part of this particular session is targeted at understanding the technical importance and the technical move towards SQL Server Transact SQL, a prerequisite to start with our complete practical and real-time MSBi trainings. Either it may be integration services module or analysis services module or reporting services module, the 3 components we have in MSBi. After this technical example based demonstration, we will be understanding a mock test. You will be given a mock test for self-assessment. Again, a friendly mock test. It's not like a strict interview or something like that. A friendly mock test to proceed with course registration to understand the comfort levels of the participants. If required, again we have to send you the solution for your reference. We'll do that. And we do have our own 24/7 online lab, a live server. You would be connecting to our live server and do this mock test, a mock interview that would take about some 20 to 30 minutes. Then you would submit back your solution so that our team would be evaluating it, and I shall be providing you my complete solution for your reference. Then we shall proceed with our actual course. And please do not question us again. Why mock interview before starting the course? Yes, we know where we are. We ought to know where we should be. I mean to say, friends, let's understand our comfort levels on the technology. Accordingly, we can easily judge whether we are going to the correct track or not. Yes, SQL Server Transact SQL is a mandatory prerequisite in this course, and I will explain you now why it is required for our course. Why I need to press more on it, we'll see now. So let's start with what is BI and why MSBi. Friends, I assume we are all very new to BI, very new to MSBi, but we are aware of SQL Server T-SQL, a prerequisite mentioned on our website to join this particular course. Yes, as a part of our MSBi course, either it will be live online training or classroom or video training, either of them, any of them. Yes, we make sure the trainings are completely real time. Again and again, I'm using the same keyword. Completely real time and practical as mentioned on every page on the website. Hence, for this purpose, please make sure friends, you revise SQL Server T-SQL before you actually start with us for the actual MSBi course. Now, to proceed, let's understand friends, what exactly this BI is. Well, a collection of tools, a rich collection of tools, components. For what? For easy data extraction, faster analysis, accurate forecast, and eye-catchy reports. I repeat, quick and easy data extraction, faster, seamless analysis, accurate forecasts, and eye-catchy reports of what? Of any type of data. You heard it right. BI has the capability to work with any type of data. Stock market analysis, weather forecasts, live cricket match or live football match analysis, what and what not. Anywhere, everywhere, we always see BI from morning to evening. With this BI tools, we can design, we are supposed to design, actually in our course, we are supposed to design databases, special type of databases like data warehouses or analysis databases, etc., capable of storing historical data, old, historical, inactive, business level, inactive data, archive data, some big database systems, wherein the size would not be a limitation as far as the accuracy and performance of databases are concerned. And whatever databases we design in our course should be providing us with accurate reporting, analysis, and mining operations. Mining is a mechanism of digging out the data, searching for the hidden trends. And why this MSBi? Yes, before going into our technical examples, let's understand why MSBi is cheaper. Ease of use, rich graphical user interface tools, and highly scalable. What does it mean? Yes, you can design the solutions in any platform. Yes, in our course, we will be designing solutions in what we call it as SQL Server data tools. For example, on my screen, something on my screen, this is one of the program we would be understanding we will be designing in our actual integration services SSIS course. Something like this. You'll be having a good program, a lengthy program. And now what else? What next? Once we design the program in a designer tool, something like this. What next? Yes, we need to make it live. We need to get this database, we need to get this solution live onto a production environment. Say, end user should be able to access it. How? Back to my earlier presentation screen. How it is possible? Since the MSBi is highly scalable, we have got dedicated tools, dedicated techniques to make those MSBi programs live. How it is? Simple, click of a mouse. We can make these MSBi solutions live. Easy integration, .NET, Oracle or SAP or any ERP system or SharePoint, anywhere we can embed these MSBi programs, and Polybase, a new feature from SQL Server 2016, the latest version that we will be using. Yes friends, Polybase is a technology using which we can embed, we can associate this MSBi solutions with Hadoop, with JRE, Java Runtime Environment, and any other cloud systems, including SQL Azure. End-to-end solutions. Using MSBi, we can start right from day one of the birth of your data. Assume a business. Right from the source of data until business forecasts, quarterly or yearly, product wise or category wise forecast, we can perform any sort of program using this MSBi. And seamless operations working on data warehousing, we call it semi-warehousing support, and rich reporting operations, and after all, easy design, deployment and secured environment. And coming to our lab plan, so how we are going to enjoy all these benefits of MSBi? Friends, again, we assume you are aware of SQL Server T-SQL. So we are going for MSBi, and on your computer you require SQL Server to be installed. We shall provide you the software or whatever website link you are using right now to access this particular demo session. Down this website, down this video frame, below that you will be able to find our detailed information on the installation part. Hope you are aware of installation. Hope you are aware of installation, but you will be getting the download link there. We will be using mostly 2016 in our course, SQL Server 2016. However, we will be using 2014 and 2012 also for version comparisons and upgrades. And we will be working on a different tool. We will be providing this required tool called SQL Server Data Tools. We will be using this in our course. So once we start our actual MSBi course, day one of our course will be installing this particular data tools. And before we start the course, you are requested to install SQL Server 2012 or 14 or 16. I repeat, before we start the course, you are requested to take care of SQL Server installation. Once we start the course, our MSBi course, day one of our MSBi course will be doing the data tools installation. And what you do once you install SQL Server? Yes, revise, practice T-SQL part. Also ensure you are able to test the connection to our server. Now, what we are going to do here in this course? And what are all these programs about? A small program, a e-commerce program, or a nice, interesting number of loops. What are these? And how to get into? Yes friends, we'll be understanding in detail. We'll be understanding in detail basic to advanced MSBi operations. And coming back, here we go into our detailed course plan on my screen, my full screen. MSBi, Microsoft Business Intelligence, includes three different components: integration services, analysis services, reporting services. These three components are mainly for the purpose of data access, mainly for data access. Accessing the data for the benefit, accessing the data for the benefit of presentation, accessing the data for the benefit of analysis, reporting, and just to get some idea, you see a change in one of the frames on my screen now. Any type of data, friends, we are understanding at basic level why we are going for MSBi. And in fact, this would be our lab plan. Any type of data, it can be HTML data or Excel or data or any database or any cloud, we can perform reporting. We say SSRS. The pink arrow marks are the SSRS, one of the components. From any type of data, we can design data warehouses, integration services, SSIS box number 2. And from any type of data sources, we can also perform analysis services, that is box number 3. I repeat, you got box number 1. Next, you got box number 2. Box number 1 is mainly for the purpose of data store. Okay, it can be any type of data store. It can be any type of data store. For example, we say SQL Server database systems. And box number 2, data warehouses, integration services, SSIS. So we will be involved in detail basic to advanced integration services components. And number 3, OLAP, analysis services, SQL Server analysis services, mainly for forecasts, for analysis and for forecasts. And we call it online analytical processing systems. Now, this is our actual lab plan. In our course as well, we'll be using Excel, HTML, DAT files and databases, MS Access databases we'll be using, SQL Server databases we'll be using, and we have got our own cloud account we'll be using, even Azure, and the cloud system will be understanding how to get into BI. And now, with this information, we got a specific lab plan, and here it is back again. So we just got some idea, integration services, analysis services, reporting. Integration is mainly into data warehousing. We will be having total of 13 technical sessions, completely example based, plus 2 sessions exclusively for one real-time project implementation on an e-commerce domain. And prerequisites. The participant is expected to have knowledge on SQL Server installation, SQL Server Management Studio tool, SSMS tool uses, database design, table design, constraints, data types and normal forms operations. And what next? Analysis services, SQL Server Analysis Services, SSAS, 13 live sessions and 1 real-time project explanation session. In fact, the participants would be involved in the project. They would be given some few days time to complete the project. Then it's our responsibility to provide you the solution and explain it in detail. How the project's gonna be, how they are going to be. Let me show you the project implementations for integration services, analysis services and reporting services. 11+1 session, 11 live classes technical and 1 project explanation class. Now, how it is going to be, how the actual project implementation is. Integration services for the participants going with more experience levels like 4+ or 5+, for them we got one level of project implementation I was showing you earlier. I'll just zoom in. However, at the basic level, we'll be understanding the same project implementation with couple of modules, understanding right from the start, like how to extract the data sources to the possible lookups, also called as the search operations, and it will be taken in a scenario model. We have got an online e-commerce database system. We got an online e-commerce database system, and using this online e-commerce database system, here it is a complete diagrammatic model for this integration services project implementation part. Customers, payment methods, products, orders, shipments, order details, invoices, shipment items, etc. And for this we got, again I was telling earlier, we got the implementation solutions for different models. We call them star, snowflake, staging models. And again, depending on your level of expertise, depending on the plan, your career plan, and the amount of experience that you are planning from this particular technical course, we will be providing you either one or both the solutions, either first level or second level solutions, either of them. Well, apart from this integration services part, wherein the participants would be involved in some query writing operations also to extract the data from the sources. For example, in this integration services, I'm just taking one particular program for this project, an online e-commerce project, the complete project. I'm taking one particular module and showing you a small SQL command text. Same way, you may be involved in other comparison operations, or for example, few update operations. Let me show you a small update operation, something like this. I'll show you a small update operation or an insert operation, something like this. We would be involved in a rows per batch computation, commit size computations. All these computations require some additional SQL Server Transact SQL skills. We require them. Now, so for this reason, actually we got this technical demo session now. And for example, what sort of skills you require? Yes, let me just refresh my screen. You see a small update statement. Again, the same program, in one of the module for the same program customers, we got an update statements. So the participants are requested to revise SQL Server T-SQL so that we will be able to understand these type of implementations in more detail. Apart from this, we also involve in SSIS, we also involve in various other activities pertaining to, I'll just show you once again in detail what we are going to do in SSIS. Let me just put it over here in this way. In integration services, of course, the real-time project, the one that I'm showing you right now, the e-commerce one, to go to the level of understanding and doing this project, right from day one, we start with the basics, need for SSIS, data tools installation, the tool I was showing you just now. And right from the configurations, installations, so-called basic program, SSIS package creations, we'll be taking it. Then we shall continue from day 2. We shall continue from day 2 to understand about various entities, control flow tasks, data flow tasks. I was showing you just now the rows per batch calculations, tuning operations. We'll focus on right from day 2 itself about the tuning operations. And in detail, data warehousing techniques, Kimball as well as inbound method. And we'll be understanding working with the file system loads, business key operations, we call it SCD, slowly changing dimension transformations. We'll be involved with historical data loads. We say type 1, type 2, historical data loads. And we assume we are all very new to .NET. There would be some little bit of .NET coding also for SSIS with various transaction options and checkpoint operations, fuzzy lookup and various transformations. Simple and complex transformations will be understanding, including the ETL operations with the non-Microsoft transformations like checksum, and tuning operations with lookup and cache, CDC transformations, parent-child packages, parameters, and we'll be understanding the next level, second level of .NET operations. We care for your understanding, so we'll be taking the classes in a planned way, very careful planned way, in a very slow pace. And we'll be understanding about project builds, new features and new techniques from SSIS 2016 version, the latest version, fact load implementation, XML and deployment operations, including the statistics and execution of the package utilities, the uses. Finally, we shall be taking the real-time project on the e-commerce domain, the one that was I was showing you just now. Session-wise notes, material, lab work, tasks, and project implementation to be always included in the course. Apart from this, so this is about the integration services planned for about 2.5 weeks. I mean, total of 13 sessions on my screen again back. And then we have analysis services. You can plan to proceed for the modules in any order. They are all independent. Technically speaking, the modules are independent, so you may right away start with even analysis services also. And awesome, completely like practical thinking involved in SSAS. Too practical. And what sort of project is involved in analysis services? Let me show you. It's an online banking database project. Completely a different project. Integration services, we go with e-commerce project, and analysis services, we go with its own banking project right from the scratch, right from DAT files and Excel files. Yes, analysis services has the option of using any type of databases, any type of data format, and continue to work with the analysis services operations. It can be any type of options, including MS Office or Microsoft Jet or Oracle. Any type of sources we can use. We will be using 4 different type of sources for this banking project. DAT files, Excel files, MS Access and SQL Server, and understand how to proceed with this complete end-to-end implementation. Like bank batches, transaction batches, invoices, bank details, customers, and time-based analysis, including invoice masters, etc. Now, how to go to this level of implementing the gigabytes of this banking project solution? Well, for example, here we would be involved in writing few queries. I'm just giving you some small basic idea here. We'll be involved in few query writing skills. SQL Server T-SQL Queries skills are required for managing and implementing this project. Of course, simple queries, frankly speaking, if it is SSAS. Most will be having some 5 to 6 tables joins, not more than that, for analysis services. Now, how you go about it? Coming to SSAS course plan. Again, we'll start from the base installation, and we'll be proceeding. There are actually two different modules in analysis services, two different modes, multi-dimensional and tabular mode. We'll be giving 50-50 weightage for both. 50% examples on multi-dimensional mode, 50% would be on the tabular mode configurations. In interviews, both are equally important for us. Of course, once we join a particular project, the priorities may change. One project may be involved only in tabular with a little bit of multidimensional, or the vice versa. From our training program, it is 50-50 always, 50% multidimensional, 50% tabular mode, and we'll be understanding the real world example on day one itself to get some basic idea why we are going for SSAS. And then from session 2, we'll slowly continue understanding the beautiful aspects of this particular mode, of this particular module SSAS, getting the data sources, data source views, cubes, design, and the basic level MDX by session 3. And from session 4, almost every day we will be touching the base of MDX again every day until end of the course. That's how we carefully planned it. Right from day 1 example start. Right from day 3 MDX operation starts. Every day we need to meditate, I must say. Meditate MDX every day. Really an awesome language. And any MSBi profile should and must include MDX. It has that power. Multi-dimensional expression language. A language used for a simple and drag and drop as well as coding part involved. This language is mostly used for the purpose of cube analysis, also for cube security implementation, dynamic and static, as well as further cube design, additional cube design. However, we have another language called DAX, and there would be 3 classes involved with DAX programming also, exclusively for tabular mode operations. Now, again, I must add this. We'll start from the base. We'll be understanding, again, you got this day-to-day course plan on our website as well, sqlschool.com. We'll be taking right from the base. And after 13 sessions, we'll be going for this real-time project implementation. And basic query skills are fine to go with SSAS. Basic T-SQL query skills are fine, especially joins and functions. Reporting services, SSRS. This particular component also involves one real-time project, and it will be on an inventory domain. Inventory and e-commerce applications put together, it will be in this way. Yes, friends. For example, I'll just show you a small code again. We have something like this, friends. We'll be having the queries. We'll be having the queries like this. For example, you got a report and the report is containing the queries and the calculations in this way. Friends, we don't need to be a pro in SQL Server, not required, but basic querying skills we require. Then it will be really very easy for both of us to have nice rapport in our technical journey. Normal basic select statements are fine. We know how to make it easy for you, irrespective of the depth of this technology, and we'll be discussing each and everything in detail. Now, with this information, how you go with this particular module, SSRS. Yes, reporting services is mainly aimed at designing these type of reports. The same e-commerce domain with some inventory management, e-commerce and inventory put together here, a small ERP system. We'll be understanding how to get this type of reporting environment with our detailed end-to-end course plan right from the base of reporting services, need for reporting services, installation, to architecture part, to the basics, the reporting basics From day 2 we'll start the examples and continue with dynamic reports, dynamic properties and static and dynamic parameters, dependent and correlated parameters, filters, charts, different type of charts and gauge reports. We'll be understanding about the report builder information, and with this information of report builder we'll be understanding joining data sets, lookups, multi-layer chart reports and dashboards. We'll be understanding dashboards for about 2 days, one with report builder, one with report designer, 2 different tools involved, and then manager operations, report management and security, tuning operations, scale out deployments and new features including migrations in reporting services. As usual, we'll be taking with the real-time project with e-commerce and inventory, session-wise notes, material, lab work, tasks and the project work. Again, to enjoy these technical sessions completely project oriented, we need to have some basic SQL knowledge, and now let's do some basic SQL Server revision operations, just like a revision part now. Well, here we go friends. So I would connect to one of my server. Let's do some revision operation on SQL Server T-SQL as a prerequisite. Let's see friends. So here we go. Assuming friends, again you are here for the demo class friends, assuming you are aware of SQL Server, you are aware of the SQL Server T-SQL part, and come on, let's start friends. Let's assume you got a server with you. I am using SQL Server 2016. We know how to create a database, right? We say create database name. And if in case if you are from a self-learning background, you might have read somewhere like database collection of MDF, LDF files. That is correct, nothing wrong, but please be informed, SQL Server has an additional advantage. The extensions can be anything. There is no such rule, it should be MDF or LDF only. Extensions can be anything. So if in case you are from books or from online self-learning process, you may see MDF, LDF. That's completely correct, but that's not the complete information. That's not the complete information. You may involve any type of extensions either for data files or for log files. Let me connect to the database, and to save time and to show you more number of examples, I am just ready with all my things. However, in our actual class, of course, we'll go in a very slow, cool pace. But since it's a demo class and I should not, make you stand there for more time. So within 1 hour, I need to do some justice to your time investment. So I got everything typed in readily. So let's go by it. Well, I got my database created, right? I got my database created. What next? Let's connect to the database. Let's connect to the database. Well, I connected to the database. Then what else? Let's create a small table. Let's create a small table. I'll scroll down. I'll create a table. Create table name on primary. Friends, what is this primary? Speak to yourself. It's your course, your learning process. What is primary? If you guessed it correctly, this is a file group. Every database is physically collection of files. This is a file group. Then what is DBO? Schema. And how do you insert data into this table? Yes, that's what we know. We would say insert into table name values. Friends, you got a table. I am trying to insert some data into this table. There is a constraint. Product size should be the small or medium only, S or M. I am trying to insert some large data also, row number 3. So how many rows would be inserted? It's your course. You are responding to yourself. you are answering to yourself. Friends, how many rows? Of course, first one would be success, second one is success, third one error. So what about fourth one? Will it be executed or not? Because third one is error, fourth entry would be executed or not? You guessed it correctly, I believe. Total of 3 inserts. Yes, the success or failure of one statement has nothing to do with the remaining statement. This is the default behavior. This is the default behavior. However, if you say set exact abort on, there is an option called exact abort on. If you set this to on, then in such a case the story changes. Whenever there is an error, execution stops. It would never continue. So default, even though there is an error, execution continues. Okay. Friends, we are taking such examples required for our BI course. If you say exact about on whenever there is an error, this statement never executes. There's a power of exact about on, a session level setting. Friends, whatever I am typing here, you will be able to download from a website from the same video link. The bottom of this video link web page, you will be able to download it and you can just practice just to get some revision part. We'll be taking some technical stuff now going on. Let me truncate table. Let me truncate the table. So I'll say truncate table name, right? Now, why to truncate? I would like to show you one thing again. Insert into table. I'll just make it off. I'll just make it off. So I'll just truncate it and make it off. I'll just off it over here. Default is off anyway. I'll say set exact about off and then insert some data. Friends, any problem? Of course, there is an error. So though there is an error, the execution continues, correct? Any problem here because of this unusual error prone data insertion? Any problem? Just give a guess. You got it? Number 1 success, 2 success, 3 failed, 4 is success. Because of this success, failure and success sequence, any problem? Come on, let me show you the problem here. Select all from table name. Problem is missing identity value. Now our requirement, how to address this missing identity issue. It's a big problem, right, in production, isn't it? How come the sequence is missing? Small size caps, medium size caps, and there is a break journey for my product IDs. What is this? How do we address it? Any guess? Any guess? Well, on my screen, stored procedures. We can say create procedure, and you got my procedure name, some of procedure name, USP to validate, then insert. And it is going to take name because like we're inserting some 2 columns, right? See there, friends? You're inserting 2 columns, caps, 2 column values, caps and some size, or say product name and size, @ size, and I would say char as begin end. What you do? Yes, begin try, and if @ size in either small or medium, then only insert into the table products and values @ name, and sorry for the typo here, @ name, @ size. See there, friends. Well, and try. What next? Begin catch, and I would say print, say invalid input, recheck recheck the values, and just give some message, anything of your choice, and for now I'll say throw. In case you are from older versions of SQL Server, please upgrade your knowledge. From SQL Server 2012, you got a new keyword called throw. To return the actual error message, we got throw statement and semicolon mandatory. Well, what I did, there is some missing identity value, right? There is some missing identity value. So, and 3 is missing. So for that, I am now trying to address the problem. How? I created the procedure, right? I created the procedure. Now, once I create my procedure, what next? Yes, let me just execute the procedure. Let me just execute the procedure. So for this purpose, I will say here exec procedure name. Friends, I assume you are aware of SQL Server procedures basics. So I am taking some examples to understand in a different way, just in a different way. If we are very new to SQL Server, then I am pretty sure this demo class would be a super fast express, because we are not aware of it. We are aware of it, then it should be a bit meaningful. We should thank ourselves to invest 1 hour time to access this demo class, right? So prerequisites mandatory. Well, once you create a procedure, what next? I'll execute the procedure. I would be inserting this data total of 4 times, and remember here there is an invalid insert. So what? No problem. Friends, earlier you got missing identity value. Now we are inserting data through procedure, and there is no more data insertion problem. That's it, you are done. Next, another small example required for our course. How to report the list of all tables in the database. Current database. What we do, friends? Give a guess. How to report the list of tables in the current database? Give a guess. Sys dot. Correct. I believe you are on the correct track. You got the tables. For example, I would be taking some database over here and say execute. So you got the list of all tables on my online book selling company database. Same way, let's understand how to get the list of all tables in the specified database. I got some pre-typing ready. I got some typing operations ready. Current database means sys.tables. Specified database means database.sys.tables. Now, why we are taking this? How it is going to help us in our MSBi course? Come on, let's see. So far we understood 3 examples. Number 1, database creation, MDF not mandatory, it can be any extension. Issue with identity property, missing identity values, and solution is insertion of data through stored procedure. A small real world example, products, missing identity values. Then how do you address missing identity values? Stored procedures. In this journey we came across set exact about on, means exactly there is an error, execution stops. Execution stops. It does not continue. By default, execution continues to next statements, to next level, next statement. So earlier you see 1, 2, 4 executed, and after you set it on, only 1 and 2 got executed, 4 is never executed. Then we got a small understanding how to report list of tables in the current database, sys.tables. Specify database. Select all from database name.sys.tables. What does it mean? This means the format of the query would be select all from unknown database name.sys.tables. Sys is a schema. Sys stands for the schema. This sys is a schema. Now let's take our actual requirement from this example. Given a database, okay, given a database, how to report list of all tables. Given a database, how to report list of all tables. Database name would be given at runtime. For example, something like this. We have a report. We have a report, and in this report, I'll just put this way. In this report, I would be taking a small parameter. I'll call it as say DB name parameter. I'll call it say DB name parameter. Okay, say in our SSRS, we'll be taking this report parameter in this way. Say specify our database name. So whenever I say preview, it will prompt me for the database name, right? Here it is. This is our Visual Studio SSRS environment. Now this is my actual requirement here, friends. Backend program, backend query. So whenever end user provides some database name here and say view report, it should automatically give you the report of all tables. So how do you do that? Let's write the backend program for this type of requirements. Create procedure, USP2 or report tables, report tables. Friends, which data type you provide for database name? Our requirement is given a database name means we have to provide the database name as a parameter. So which data type you provide? Sys name. Don't say varchar. Sys name is a special data type we have exclusively for objects. Say as begin. Of course, using begin try, I would say declare @query. Say nvarchar. Please ensure you revise and understand when to use which data type. Set query equal to what you do? Select all from static @database name parameter, and again .sys.tables would be static. So set a query, define a query, set the query. What next? Friends, how to execute the above query? SP underscore execute SQL or execute function and simply provide the query. That's it. Now, how to execute the above procedure? We know how to execute a procedure, right? EXECR execute and the procedure. What's our requirement? Given a database name. If I give some database name, say for example master, I'll get the list of all tables in the master database. We know master is one of the system databases. Same way, for example, I'll provide any other database of my choice which is valid on my server, and you get the complete information now. So this way, make sure you revise stored procedures for this type of basic dynamic SQL examples. We'll be using it in our reporting services component as well as in the integration services components. For analysis services, stored procedures are optional. Next, apart from this, another example. Example number 4. So far we got database creation, data insertion identity problem, missing identity. Then we understood this dynamic SQL example. Now, with this information, let's continue, friends. Let's understand another example for the purpose of getting self joins, union, union all, and join operation. Single example to get some idea about these components now. Again, I assume you are aware of the concepts. It is just aimed at the revision or the overview. And here we go, friends. Create table name. I created an employee table, self-references. And I insert some data into my employee table. So you got all the employees and the respective managers. We got all employees and the respective managers. Now my requirement. From this example, let's take a requirement. How to report list of all employees, comma, respective managers. I want employee 1 manager, employee 2 manager, employee 3 manager, so on. Then what we do? We compare the table with the same table, right? Isn't it? Single table is involved and I have to compare the manager ID and the employee ID. On employees dot ID or EMP ID and is equal to this employees dot manager ID. I would say here E1, I would say here E2, so this would be E1 and this would be E2. And you got the complete information now. What next? Our requirement. Our requirement is to get the list of all employees and respective managers. For example, you see here for Charles, 1 is the manager, 1 means John. For Nicholas, 2 is the manager, 2 means Charles. For Neil, 2 is the manager, 2 means Charles. Leon, manager. Vince is manager. Claire is manager. Means you got employee names, respective manager names, manager IDs. So from these manager IDs, we need to pull up these manager names also. So you got E2 dot employee name, E1 dot manager name. So I'll do here, in case you want looking for the step-by-step reference, then I'll copy paste for your practice on these examples. E2 dot, okay, EMP name. Friends, I assume you are aware of these concepts, so I'm just taking it in a quick way. And E2 dot, say E1 dot name, say EMP underscore name. You may also specify here E2 dot EMP ID. So now you see, friends, Charles, John, Nicholas, Charles, etc. So I'll say here as manager. So you got the employee name and the manager name. Say as employee and the manager. You got the required information now. What next? Friends, any problem with this? See there, friends, any problem? Any problem? John is missing, right? Isn't it, friends? John is missing. Why? Because John has no manager, and here we go. In the meantime, my query is ready and I would be getting my John. Say where say manager underscore ID is null. John. So you got all the employees ready and John is also ready. The boss is also ready. Friends, how to get them together? I want to get these two together. Single output. You can make use of union all. I am copy pasting all these scripts I'm copy pasting all this script for your later practice just in case. Well, so here it is, friends. I'm saying here, so I'll just put this way. I'll just say here e dot emp underscore id comma, and now you'd be able to see John manager, Charles is manager, Nicholas manager, etc. You got the complete list. I use the option. Friends, which type of option we can use now? Give a guess. For faster query operations, which option we can use? Both are in the same table. So you make use of hash join. And why you simply said here join here? What type of join it is? This is inner join. Yes, default is inner join, or you can specifically mention there, you can specifically mention inner join. You can say inner join or directly perform join. Any type of join, you can make use of join options. Please revise these options. There are three important options for query tuning: hash join, loop join, and merge join. Please make sure you get examples for these three. Mandatory, friends, very much mandatory for any module in our course. Either you take MSBi, integration or reporting or analysis, we require it. And always use union all because it guarantees you the correct order. Union all guarantees you always the correct order, always. Another very important item, mainly for the project implementation in our course, we require pivot function of T-SQL. Come on, let's have a look at it now. I'll create a small local temporary table, sales service. Service type, sales year, number of leads. Have a look. I also insert some rows over here. Insert some SQL Server training, SQL DBA training, MSBi, Power BI, projects, etc. And here it is. I would say here, select all from table name, okay, and just let's see the data that has been inserted first. Let's understand the data here. I got all my trainings, the years, and the number of inquiries or the number of leads. From this example, let's take a requirement. How to report subject-wise total sales. See there, friends? How to report subject-wise total sales or service-wise total sales. Service 1, total sales. Or for example, I want year-wise total sales, say the subject-wise or year-wise. How to get this pivot operation? Yes, to make use of pivot operation, we just say select star from table name as usual, and on my screen now, and we require an alias. Select star from table name, pivot, sum of number of leads, and here you have to provide the enumeration. So please see, if you need to work on this pivot function also required for all modules, we will be using it in our course. So here it is, I am getting subject wise total leads. 2014 MSBi training 900, or 2015 1800, 2300, 2900, in this way. Is mainly used, pivot mainly used to convert column values into columns. I repeat, column values are taken as columns, that is called pivot. For example, here 2014, 2016, these are all the column values, right? Isn't it? See there? 2014, 15, 16, 17 are column values. Those column values are taken as columns. This is called pivot operation. So please see if you need to revise pivot. Same way, another very important one required for our class, that is about the usage of common table expression CTEs in case you are planning for the project implementation. Yes, one of the recent certification program, one of the recent certification paper, we were actually given this subquery. One of the participants was actually approaching me, giving this type of information from one of the certification paper. Here is a scenario, friends. Here is a context. There is a table, identity, and there is some data inserted. There is a table, 3 columns, and you got some data also inserted. And the requirement is how to update the third column, rank column, with the sequence values. Yes, here it is. Select all from table name. Friends, we know whenever you say insert into identity, we get default values, right? And here it is. Anyway, we know ID column is identity, and just now you got it there. Default is 10. You scanned it quickly. Default is 100. And rank, there is no default value. So you see here the rank is containing null value. Now requirement. How to update the third column with the sequence values, meaning rank, first rank should be 1, 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, so on it requires. How do you do that? Well friends, here it is. And this is the actual information given. They say this is a solution. Come on, fine tune it. Give a guess. I'll pause here for a while. Give a guess. What could be the problem with this query? Of course, the solution is correct. You are able to see all 1, 2, 3, 4 here. But any problem with this query? Just give a guess. I'll pause here for some time. Hope you got it. I just resumed the video now. Hope you got it. If not, here it is. Problem. What if ID column is same for multiple rows? Yes, we can duplicate identity, right? It's not a big deal. There are multiple ways to duplicate identity property in SQL Server. It's not a big deal. Set identity and set on. You can duplicate. And what if multiple rows have duplicate value column? So what if multiple rows have duplicate IDs and duplicate values? Or what if multiple rows have same ID and value columns? Say 100, 100, 100, then what happens? Rank becomes 111. I mean, rank is same. So how do you address this type of problem? Simply put, how to avoid self-joins. Simply put, how to avoid self-joins. Yes. Any answer? Got it? What I'll do is, with CTE as, please by heart the query format if required. With CTE as parenthesis, update CTE, set rank is equal to, simply say there the rank. I would say here rank value. Update CTE, set rank equal to, which rank? The rank columns, right? Isn't it the top? The table name is rank column. So rank column equal to, so I'll say here select star, so that the CTE is aware of the rank column or rank underscore call. So let's say update CTE, set rank column equal to. This will do the trick. You don't require to go for self joins all the time. You don't need to worry about this duplicate IDs and values. I mean, you don't need to worry about duplicate rows resulting in duplicate rank if you are using CTE. So in case you are planning for some experience from the course, please revise CTEs as much as you can. This is the alternate solution. How do you test it? update the table scope identity set rank column equal to null. So far you got some ranks, so you update it back to null because we are going to test the example. Select all from table name. Let me ensure it is always gives you null value here. It gives me null values. Then what you do? With CTE as an update. Once you perform the update, that's it, you are done. Yes friends, here we no need to worry about self joins. No need to worry about duplicate row values. Still the solution works. Yes, focus on tuning operations also, mandatory for our course. And one more example in our course today, just for your revision purpose, roll up cube grouping operations. Let's take a small table. Let's take a small table. I got my script ready to create a table. Example for grouping and roll up and cube operations. I'll take a product table and set the identity and insert on so that we are able to insert our own identity values. And we know select from table name, select from table name, and you are able to get all the table data here. There are total of 25 rows. What we do with them? What we do with them? Well, here we go friends. I would like to provide you a small query for your understanding. Have a look. Group by, roll up, is null and coalesce alternative to each other. What it gives you? In case you are going for data extraction and reporting, these type of queries are very much required for us. Yes, mainly for the examples pertaining to of the e-commerce and the inventory operations. E-commerce and inventory operations, we require of this type of queries like the group by and other queries, some group by and computation queries. So you got class wise sales, product wise sales, say class wise sales, economy total, regular total and grand total. So mainly for reporting part we require it. For this type of examples, right click and query and you would be able to get some aggregates, right? Then how do you address these type of aggregates? So here is a complete query we see now. Next, apart from this, so just giving you some basic information that we require for our course. How do you differentiate? Another small example friends, how do you differentiate between this grand total subtotals versus actual data? I would like to differentiate, say for example, all base data first, subtotals next, grand totals third. I repeat, subtotals first, then grand total. Before that, I would like to get my actual total, say actual business data. So how do you get this type of data? Because whenever you are having this roll up, you get this data automatically. Say first economy by sales, total economy sales, regular class, total regular class, then grand total. Then how do you get this type of reporting operations, pagination? We can make use of union. Again, I will say union all to guarantee the order. Generally, whenever you say union, you may again get the mix of data, null, null, again some more null in between. But if I say union all, order of data guaranteed. You will see all business data first, subtotals next, grand total third, order guaranteed if you are using union all. There's a base difference between union and union all. If you read in books somewhere like union all gives you all data including duplicates, union does not give you duplicates, that may be true up to the books. Practical world, the things go in a different way. In case if you are new to SQL, get some real-time expertise training, do 1 or 2 projects on T-SQL, then join for MSBi. If you are already aware of SQL Server, I think these examples should be benefiting you and you are good to start with the BI course. Now this way we have one more small example for what we call it as table variables, TVP, the use of table variables. So whatever table I got earlier, product table, from table variables, from this particular above table, I'll take a small clone, a clone of the table. Let me show you how to make use of table valued parameters actually. The table valued parameters in SPs, TVPs. It's also required mainly for our SSIS and SSAS courses. I'll create a small user defined data type and my requirement. Using this data type, I would like to create a procedure. I'm creating a procedure using this above data type, read-only format. The variable parameter can be the read-only or read-write. I'll take read-only parameter, insert into the above table, clone table, where I got 0 row structure loaded. I insert data from this variable. Variable is of type table data type. That's it. I'll make it simple. I'll make it simple for now. Well, here it is, friends. Step number 1, I cloned my above table. Step number 2, created the table variable. Step number 3, created a small procedure that is going to accept table parameter. Remember, table parameter should be read only all the time. Insert into data, insert into the about clone table from step number 1. So I'm using step number 2, data type for variable. Step number 1, clone table for insertion of data. Now, how to execute above procedure? It's a taking table value, right? Yes, for data extraction and reporting, including SSAS analysis, we require this type of implementation for our course. Come on, here it is. To execute the above procedure, simple and straight. Declare a variable, assign the value, execute. I repeat, declare, assign. Now simply use this variable and execute the SP. That's it, you are done. Declare a variable of data type from step number 2. Remember, step number 1, clone table. Step number 2, variable, data type, new data type, table data type. The table data type I am using in parameter, now I am using in variable. It should be the same parameter because we are going to map them. Insert into variable, get the values from my product table. EXEC procedure name, we know it should give you the parameter name. Here I am providing the parameter here, this variable as a parameter. This way variables can be parameters. Mainly for SSIS and SSRS, we require this variable parameter mapping operations. Come on, give a test. Select all from the table name. Now we are going to see the complete table. So we are declaring a variable, assigning value to the variable, passing the variable as a parameter to the procedure. This example is actually aimed at understanding the difference between, small example, understanding the difference between variable and parameter. With this, again, whatever information I am providing you right now, it is available for download down this video. Please kindly download it in case if you find it a bit useful and if you wanted to practice the same examples. And after that, what we are doing so far? We are understanding the required prerequisites for this course, technical part. Once you practice all these, please log into our website. Our team would be providing you the credentials upon request. You log into our live server. There is a mock test, mock interview. You will be connecting to our live server and you can get the credentials from our team. You can mail to our contact@sqlschool.com and they will provide you the required credentials. You can mail to our contact@sqlschool.com in case you are interested to solve this case study or try to solve it. We'll provide you the credentials. We operate 24/7. You'll be writing some more queries. You'll be trying to solve this case study. Submit us back or submit me directly or to our team. We'll provide you the correct solution also. It's all just to ensure like you are doing the required revision before we actually plan to start our complete practical training course. Now, with this information, I'll stop for today. And again, this is Sai Phanindra from SQL School, and we ensure complete real-time practical training sessions. Please kindly practice and revise SQL Server T-SQL to enjoy our training services. We are pretty sure we will win references from you for our next batches. For sure. We know how to do that. It's all about give and take, right? Yes. More we do, more we get. Either you or me or anyone in this world. Thank you very much, friends. Have a nice time. Thank you for your investment of your valuable time today. Thank you once again. Bye-bye.